Hi class, today we are going to cover some of the basics of using Microsoft Word, and then we will progress into PowerPoint. For your assignment in Microsoft Word, you're going to create stories. So the first thing that you do to get into Microsoft Word is click on the little window button in the corner here. And then you're actually going to type the letter W, and Word should pop right up. Word, and then it'll say app. If it doesn't pop right up, type the letter O after you type the letter W, and it should pop up at that point. So we're going to go ahead and click on Microsoft Word, and then you're going to select blank document. I'm going to go ahead and maximize the screen here, and I did that by clicking the square in the corner. Let's get rid of navigation. So there are a few things to start with when you're creating your story. Your story should have a beginning, a middle, and an end. It should have some sort of problem for your character to solve. It should also have characters as well. So just keep those items in mind once you get started. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is create a title. And I'm going to go ahead and press the center key. Does everyone see this right here? The center icon, whatever you want to call it. It sends it to the center of the page. So let's say you wanted to do a story about gargoyles. So I'm going to go ahead and type the word gargoyles. Now, obviously you don't just want plain text. So I'm going to make the text a little more visually interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight this. And I did that just by holding down on the mouse and dragging over the top. You could also double click on the word and it will highlight it that way as well. Next, I'm going to go to font. And as you can see, if you want a kind of a preview of what it looks like, you just drag it to different things. I'm going to go ahead and pick Algerian. I don't want the text that tiny though. I want it a little bit larger. So the larger the number, the bigger the text. So I'm going to go all the way to 48. And I don't want a plain color like this. So I'm going to go ahead and change the font color. So I'm going to click on this little arrow right here. And I'm going to change it to red. And you can also do a highlight if you want to behind the color. I don't think many of these look all that great. I guess the black one kind of looks cool, but that'll kind of interfere with what I'm about to do. I'll leave the gray. Next, I will go ahead and hit enter. I'm going to put who it's by. And then I'm just going to type my name. You're obviously going to put your own name. Don't put my name. And I'm going to hit enter. I don't want it in the center anymore. So I'm going to come over here and click left align. I'll pause for a second so you can take a look at what this looks like. And this is where I would start my story. I'm going to type something about the story here. So whether it starts at a building or whatever you want, however you want to start the story, this is where you start typing. I'm obviously not going to type out the whole story here. So I'm just going to put in some filler. And I want this to be a little smaller than my title. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight it, and then I'm going to change it to a smaller number. And I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. Now I want to get some images in this thing. So I'm going to go to insert images because I'm inserting an image into the document. That's kind of how you can remember it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on this little arrow here and go to online pictures, and then I'm going to type gargoyles. I'm going to hit enter, and it gives me all different options. These look pretty cool. There are obviously some animated ones. I actually watched this show as a kid. So we can go ahead and pick Goliath here. Sometimes I'm actually glad this happened. Sometimes you will get an error. Sometimes you are not able to use some of the images that pop up. So again, we're going to type in gargoyle. And again, you don't have to write a story about gargoyles. I'm just using this as an example. So I will go ahead and click on this one and see if I can use this one. So I have to hit insert down here. And it looks like I was able to use it. So when you use images like this, you can go into the artistic effects and do some pretty cool effects. So if this is just your title page, you could do some sort of cool effect like this. You can change the color if you want just black and white. Or there are different color effects that you can use. This makes it a little bit more vivid. So I actually kind of like this one. And then you can do corrections as well. And you can also try to remove the background. It looks like it's not an option for this particular picture because I probably already messed with the settings too much. So if you're going to remove the background, you're going to need to do it right away before you start adjusting the color. Now, if you want the characters to have word bubbles, you can also do that too. So you can make this kind of like a comic book if you want to. So you would go to insert, you would go to shapes, and then you would go down to callouts. So I could put a word bubble here. And, well, he always liked food in the series, so I'm just going to put food. And then as you can see, now there's a comic book style word bubble. And the way to get beneath this image, because that's a question that comes up a lot, you need to click to the side of it and you need this blinking line right here. Then you hit enter. And now you can do the next phase of your comic book / story. It's up to you. So remember, there needs to be a beginning, a middle, and an end. A problem for your characters to solve. A protagonist, which is the good guy, and an antagonist, which is the bad guy. Or it doesn't have to be just one. It can be multiple. Next, we are going to go ahead and do a page color. Okay, it's on design. We go to page color for design, and then we can just simply select the page color we want. I think I'm going to go with black. And again, you can go ahead and continue this right here. You can also do page borders, but at this point, if you choose black, the page borders won't be all that visible. So again, this is how to change the font, you go to here, and you always have to highlight to change something. This is the font style. You don't have to choose what I chose. And then you can go to the font size. It goes all the way up to 72. This is your font color. This is your background. And here is some text effects. So I can change this up a little bit if I want to. I can make it 3D or a reflection. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I want some sort of cool reflection. Make your title interesting. Again, you're going to write something. You can do it above or below. And then you'll have word bubbles in here to fill in what's called the dialogue. The dialogue is what your characters are saying in each scene. That's all I have for you today. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. Thank you.